Hello? Hello, Flatus? Flatus, darling, it's me, Luperza's little sister, Lulu Perza. I simply must speak with you. I've missed you, my little puggycorn. I haven't gotten to speak with you in weeks. We really must talk. I have a little present for you. Oh, excuse me. I didn't see you there. I was simply speaking with mi amore Flatus Helsing. He's the star of the Evercast show, simply marvelous show. It's the best show on the interwebs for gaming and gaming news, and they have simply marvelous discussions, and they're simply marvelous people, and Flatus, he's simply marvelous. So you really must add it to your Twitch list and follow them. Yes, you must follow them. And you must follow Flatus. Pardon me. Flatus dear, I'll speak with you soon.
This is a story all about how my MMOs got flipped up and turned upside down. Now, things may be changing, but do not fear. Carl Tanlin, Chewina, and Flatus are here. This is Evercaster, so you know, with all your gaming news with incredible flow. We have a special guest with us tonight as we discuss all the EQ Next news in sight. Please welcome Angie as she joins the show. She's a hell of a gamer with a love for MMOs, so be sure to sit back and relax, for this is that show we like to call
is enough. Enough of the same game already. It's time to get some new ideas into this genre. And if somebody was going to do it, it should be EverQuest. Point right now where we're building something that's both heroic and social. We've taken everything we know about games and MMOs in general, and we're fusing the best parts into an original shape, well, that we hope will create triumph and passion in the gamers that play it. See, we were serious about it being a sandbox game.
And welcome to Evercast. I am one of your hosts, Tanlin. With me are our three normal hosts. We've got Flatus.
Hi.
We've got Kai Lest. And we've got Chewina.
Was he meaning to be silent there?
I don't know.
Anyways, they call us the Three Stooges. We're Three Stooges in Tamlin, is pretty much how the show works out.
No.
Oh, here goes.
Really?
Now her mic's unmuted. No. The funniest thing, before we kind of jump into everything, I was with my fiance about 20 minutes ago. We were getting ready for the show, right? And I walk out in the hallway, and I'm like, our 1 year shows tonight. I've done this for a year. And I said it with like a confidence, because she was like, don't worry, don't stress. And I'm like, why would I stress? It's been a whole year. And she's like, it took you all day to realize that? You've been planning to do this for 2 weeks? And I don't know, it just didn't hit me until then. Like, it's been one hell of a journey. This is going to be an amazing show tonight. I'm very excited. Flatus has, like, mega dope loot to give away tonight, and we have a lot of cool discussions. So, Tanlin, it's over to you, sir.
I'm saying that, like, I've been stressed all day, like, trying to get...
Me too.
And I was like, oh my goodness, it's 1 year, blah, blah, blah. And you know, Kailas knows that, like, this is normal for me. And then, like, the show goes on and everything's great. But until that point, I super stressed. So how do you guys like that? You like that was our original intro that we put together for our first show. That we little throwback.
Well, a second show. First show, we didn't actually have an intro. We just had like the cold read, and then we cut straight in. We didn't have a single intro for the first show, but that was like second, yeah, or third maybe. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't remember.
It's been a year. It's okay.
Good to forget these things.
Well, and
I was gonna say that intro really is from our second episode because we did it the first episode before SOE Live, so the second episode.
Oh right, it had to have been because we took
took
the
video, yeah.
so does that mean that I was here for the second episode? Because I wasn't here for the first episode. I was not. They're all like, yeah.
Yeah,
I was not officially part of the cast for the first episode because things.
Yep. I actually included that little intro where it says we welcome Angie to the show in there just because I wanted to really throw back to the first time you were on the show. I thought it'd be cool. Yeah. I can't believe we're still here.
I know.
Oh, I can.
She can. And others can too, I imagine. We'll hear about that later. So Tanlin, I'm gonna leave the kind of discussion pointing up to you tonight. Where would you like to start?
When we talked about it, we were talking about like from a year ago before SOE Live, before the week or 2 weeks before SOE Live until right now, this very minute. I want us to go through and take some time and recap what we've learned about EverQuest Next and that Landmark because we didn't know anything about it a year ago. How we feel about it briefly and where we predict that SOE Live will take us into the future. Like, what are they going to reveal? What are they going to announce? What are we going to do? And we're going to just do our predictions for SOE Live. Now, for everybody watching this and listening, we didn't normally we do a little bit of collaboration between each other to like, hash out some ideas. And on this idea, I thought that it would be great if we came to our, with our own thoughts separate from one another. So, I'm going to turn it over to someone to go first, and we're just going to turn it all over to them, and they're going to they get the mic. Hand that guy the mic. They're going to take it away.
Just no filibustering, please. And before that, sorry, I just want to say for everyone who's new to the show tonight, who might be coming from us from wherever, if you saw our podcast today and were able to stick with it till the end, kudos to you. But we are an EverQuest Next bi-weekly podcast. We stream live on Twitch TV. We have all of our videos available on YouTube, and we also have an audio version for those who prefer more of a podcast style. Go ahead, Tamlin. Seems like you had a revelation there.
I think that we should actually turn it over to Kailas because we do it bi-weekly, right? So we didn't do one last week, but we did one 2 weeks ago, and we wouldn't normally do one in a week because that's a Sunday at SOE Live. We'll do one the week after SOE Live, but is it Angela? Kailas?
Yeah, Kailas, go ahead and take the mic there.
This is absolutely tentative. We do not have an exact schedule, but here's the big special announcement. I somehow was able to twist an arm or 10 at Sony, and we will be podcasting live on Sunday from SOE Live.
That's why I put on the Hollywood glasses.
I like how Trina's all like brushing off his shoulders. He had nothing to do with this.
Now. I believe that I had everything to do with this.
Oh.
I don't know how. Don't ask me that. But I believe that there was somewhere in there where it was all me. But kudos.
I am pretty sure that it was all me being in Mr. Georgeson's office and being like, oh yeah, you like space? Did you know that Tamlin works for NASA? He works for NASA. Georgeson, subsequently turns into a 5-year-old boy and is ecstatic. And I was like, oh, You want NASA stuff?
It's going to be awesome. Vladis and I will not be in person. It will be Tanner and Kyles. We'll be remoting it, of course. We won't get all the spectacular amazingness as these two, but huge announcement. Honestly, for me, it makes me really proud of Evercast Show, and I can't wait until next week. So you guys better be sure to tune into our coverage Sunday. We don't know time again.
It'll be earlier. It won't be in the evening. It'll be sometime in the afternoon. But as soon as we know, as soon as we have the confirmation of the time, we'll make sure to get it out there to all the normal channels, Twitter, and it should be a full show. Like I think that my capabilities is going to be just like this is what you're going to see at SOE Live, and we'll try and catch you up with things that you may have missed that were not covered in the live streams. Get some fan reactions, and look forward to seeing you there.
And I can say that it will not be during the Dev Brunch because Tanlin and I already purchased tickets to go see the Dev Brunch.
And not unless we're eating there with a Dev.
Ooh.
So that's cool. Like, and that'll kind of fills the gap. I know a lot of people were kind of like wishing I was going, and this was kind of like an awesome. I can't go, but here's a kind of a cool way of getting me there, and I can kind of talk about stuff, and you can see my face like this. not
never
the same,
changes.
but still. But
So confirmed, Flatus is the face of Bo.
oh, but yeah, yes.
It took him a minute. I love it.
No, it didn't take me a minute. I was kind of shocked that you went that far, but yes, I will take it.
Do you guys remember Flatus's hoodie phase? Where mostly every episode he wore a hoodie, and a lot of episodes he wore it like completely covering his entire face. Oh,
Yeah.
our little Flatus has grown up.
Okay. But I have good news. I have great news.
Great news.
I do. For the people that don't know and or don't follow me on Twitter, I got a job, and I know I've been saying this for months since April when I lost my job. And you guys have been coming here and they're like, Flatus, do you start working? Not yet. That's why I couldn't go to SOE Live, but I officially have a job. And I started working this past week. So I may not be going to SOE Live, but at least I'm not going SOE Live not due to I don't have a job. It's because I have to stay here and actually work. So that's good news.
But next year.
Wow. Yeah. So, how is your girlfriend Lulu Perza doing, Flatus? Do you talk to? It's a her.
Lulu?
Lulu, right?
Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
That was. I got that email. I got that message last night. He's like, "You should watch this," and then and then later it was like, I apologize. So when I went to go watch it, I died laughing hysterically because not only did they mention something that happened like way early on in Evercast, it was mentioned the Pugacorn, which maybe
that was really early on.
8 or 10 people knew about Pugacorn.
I think that was Raz.
Yeah, Raz did that. I have a picture of the Pugacorn, so if you haven't seen it during break, I'll give it to Tamlin. He'll throw it up on the screen. So. But we got a lot to talk about, so we got to keep going.
Absolutely. Let's pass the mic to somebody. Flatus, do you want to do a giveaway while we kind of pass the mic around? Maybe a giveaway per person, or maybe just one giveaway to start off the show real quick? And who'd like to take the mic first? Miss Kyles, ladies first. Would you like to go ahead and kick us off? Discussing, your experience over this past year and... Go right ahead. What you were expecting out of EQ Next, what it was like when you heard about Landmark, what it was like at SOE Live last year, and all the way up to today.
And do you want me to not get all soapboxy about it?
It is your microphone, ma'am.
Don't call me ma'am. I'm not that old.
It is your microphone, miss.
Thank you.
No
5 minutes? 5 minutes, start the timer.
5 minutes. That's all you have, though, so be wise.
So... as many of you know, going to SOE Live last year, whoa. I don't know what that was, but wow, that was crazy. Sorry, I got distracted by my own voice. Squirrel. So last year when I went to SOE Live, I was not an SOE gamer. So I didn't really go with any expectations except for I'm going to be kind of bored. They're all going to be snobby and stuck up, and they're not going to have time for their players, and I'm going to hate it. So that was sort of what I thought was going to be the case. And I get there, and the devs are all really chatty, and they are enjoying talking to you, and they want to talk to you, and they join you for coffee or dinner and all that sort of fun stuff. So when I went, I didn't really have any expectations because I didn't know anything about Sony, honest. You guys are putting me on the spot. And then, it's really funny. I was the same way this morning. Like, it was like, oh yeah, it's the 1 year episode, and I wasn't nervous until about an hour ago when I started getting sick to my stomach, and I was like, oh my god, it's been a year. Uh-oh.
Kyless was the person to talk to at SOE Live. She was awesome. And Tamla too, of course.
We're offline.
Oh, we're offline. And we're back!
We're back!
That was a quick downtime. That must have been something on Twitch's end. Twitch, could you please fix your stuff? Thanks.
Yeah, I blamed.
So Kyless, you were talking about SOE Live. What about EverQuest Next in general? Seeing that announcement, what did you think when they first announced it in the ballroom? Was it kind of what you were expecting? Was it something totally different?
It was at first it seemed just like the normal video game, and then as the announcement went on and they started talking about it more, I was like, this is really not, it's not your standard MMO, it's not your normal stuff, right? And I started to actually get excited about what they were talking about and really interested in the game, and really wanted to learn more.
And now I'm just going to egg you on because I know what you've been feeling over the years. So EverQuest Next comes out, Landmark's announced, and then EverQuest Next info kind of drops off. Landmark becomes the focus. What was that like for you as a podcaster focused around EverQuest Next? Were you excited? I mean, you were excited for Landmark. Why don't you just go ahead and talk about your experience with that end of the year?
With the transition where they dropped EverQuest off of Landmark. And I actually kind of thought that they needed to do that in the very beginning because it was really confusing to a lot of people, like the relationship between EverQuest Next and Landmark. And having it EQ Next and then EQ Landmark was really confusing for me, especially being a new player and not knowing a whole lot about the company and their expectations and their desires when it came to building those two particular different video games, that they were actually genuinely different. So, yeah, it was good that they changed.
She's like, I'm done for now. Don't worry.
Are you gonna keep egging me on?
No. I'm gonna take the mic from you, and then when you want it back, you just yell. Listen, guys. Tanlin's like, oh, we all need our 5-minute speech because Tanlin and Flatus are really good at going on for like 5 or 6 minutes. Me, I'm like 4.5-ish. Kyless is someone who speaks her point and gets on with it. So.
Chewina talks and never shuts up. I don't know what he's talking about.
Maybe I'm around 20 minutes of a guy. Fair enough. My experience, insane. Keep it super short. Went to SOE Live for the first time ever. It was a miracle that I ever got to go. It was an amazing experience. It was one of the best times I've ever had in my life. I got to meet tons of people. I finally got to see Thailand. That's what happens when I've been up all day. Tanlin and Kylest. Couple's name is Thailand. Got to meet them, got to meet so many amazing people. It was phenomenal. Year goes by, EverQuest Next really hit me because I was a big EverQuest person growing up. I played EverQuest when I was young. EverQuest 2, I played a lot of EverQuest 2. I followed it from the beginning, kind of like I did EverQuest Next, but I was too young to podcast at that time. I wanted to, I was just too young. This comes around, EverQuest Next, we get a little teaser over the past couple of years, and the day comes where I'm like, man, it's coming up. We need to do something. I went to Reddit. I made a nice post. Hey, we should start a podcast. Tanlin hit me up because Tanlin already had an idea similar to that. And so we started kind of working together. We started recruiting other people. I reached out actually to Pentapod on Twitter. She suggested Kalbur because she knew him from Defiance. And then Peter messaged me, and we all kind of just got together. And then Kyles joined episode 2, and we meshed like crazy. Trust me, it wasn't necessarily like the perfect cookie cutter fit because we all have very different personalities and opinions, but I think that's what has made our show really interesting, at least for me, is the fact that every single episode I can either be agreeing with someone or disagreeing, and it could be the same person, just a different topic. So my experience with EverQuest Next Landmark over this past year has been difficult at times because I was really focused on MMO. I wanted to get into Landmark because I wanted to see what it might be like in EverQuest Next, but I wasn't a huge Minecraft person. I wasn't a huge builder. I played a lot of Second Life, but that was way back in the day, and I did more coding in Second Life than real architecture or anything. So I will say that there was a period of really harsh dry spells when it came to information. And as a podcaster, it was hard to come up with things to talk about brand new. That wasn't complete speculation. Now we're at a point where we can kind of look back, see what's going on. We get a lot of information. Well, a lot more information. And the dev team's been a lot more open. But coming out of SOE Live in the convention season, it was very difficult for us. But then we're here today. Honestly, that's all my time I'm going to take. Look at that. I'm going to pass it over to Tamlin, actually.
Whoa, that was like 3 minutes. That's a shock.
See? Well, I have more to talk about in other subjects.
I would also like to note really quickly, he is way freaking taller than he seems. Oh my god. He's so much taller than he looks like.
Okay, I'm not that tall. If you all know Feldon from EQ2 Wire,
he's tall.
He is a giant, okay? He makes me feel small.
Okay.
But yeah.
How tall is he? 7'4"?
Oh my god, he's got to be. I don't know if he's that. He's tall.
I don't think he's 7.
I'll say he's like 8. Okay, like that's what he seems like to me. Total giant. But he's one of the nicest guys. If y'all are going to SOE Live and you see a giant man walking around, go up, see if his name's Feldon, introduce yourself. He'll take you everywhere.
Yeah, you can't miss him. He's 27 foot tall. You can't miss him.
I totally meant 6'4". But, like, Shuina's got a good, 8 inches in height on me, so it's...
Yeah.
I'm shorty.
Yeah. She's a lot shorter than I thought she was, absolutely.
And that's what people will find out if they meet me at SOE Live, is that I'm not as tall as you might think I am.
I'm 5'2".
Wow. Yeah. So, who'd like the mic next?
You can pass it to me. I was going to let Flatus
Okay, yeah, no. All right, Tanlin, the mic is yours.
Tanlin's up. All right. So hi. Let's see. SOE Live. Well, first off, like I tell everybody every chance I get, I did not play EverQuest or EverQuest 2 until after SOE Live last year. I came from Vanguard. I played Vanguard from the moment it launched for about the first year consistently, and then I've been in and out of Vanguard ever since then. And if everybody asks me my favorite MMO, it's Vanguard. But even before they announced that they were shutting down Vanguard, there was a part of me that was like, I am looking for what is next. I like playing Vanguard. There is so much about it that I really like, but at the same time, I'm waiting for them to take those ideas and reinvent them. Not reinvent them, but reinvigorate them in a new game. And when I first heard about EverQuest Next, that's what I was saying. Like, it's going to be the spiritual successor to Vanguard. And so I started following EverQuest Next, and then I started being super interested in it that I wanted to do a podcast about it. So here we are, and it's been a year. And not to rehash a lot of history, but going into SOE Live last year, we had no idea about Landmark. Smedley, John Smedley, the president of Sony Online Entertainment, he tweeted out back in March. So from March till August, we were in this area of anticipation, but he said that we were going to have some form of EverQuest Next that we're going to have in our hands, and and I don't mean a beta, and that was what he tweeted out. And so we took that and we just ran with it. EverQuest Next is going to be out by the end of the year. He said no beta. And that is why we were so blown away by the reveal of Landmark. And even when they announced that Landmark at SOE Live last year, I don't think any of us really had an idea of how ambitious the project was, and we've slowly becoming more aware of everything that they plan on doing with Landmark. And I think that everybody here on the podcast right now wants to talk about the future of Landmark just as much as the future of EverQuest Next. Even though Landmark may not be the traditional MMO experience, there's a lot of stuff that's cool about Landmark that is worthy of being talking about, and I have so much to say about it, and I'll probably have even more to say about it after SOA Live. So SOE Live came out last year, and that's when we learned about Landmark. We learned a little bit about EverQuest Next. And since then, we've learned that we even did a podcast about it, is about a change of the shift of the focus from SOE, where they focused on like closed development, to a very, very open development, that they like telling us everything that's going on about their game. And that was something that I was not prepared for. And that's one of the challenges that we faced as a podcast is like, well, how do we make our show interesting when it seems like everything we're saying SOE has already said on their own stream, and it's been fun. Let's see, what else has been going on? Help me out here, guys.
You have the mic time. See, now you understand why it's so hard not to have feedback and continual conversation.
And right.
Just pass the mic. Pass the mic. Drop it. How about drop the mic?
Hold on. Where is it? I'm gonna drop it.
Dang.
I'm gonna drop it. There. Drop the mic.
Oh, we dropped it.
Oh, he's so funny.
Gladys, could you please pick it back up?
I don't know these people. I don't know. I just showed up here. This is my first day. People are dropping mics.
Gladys
I don't know what's going on.
What kind of butt are you? A bear butt? You like bear butts?
He's a bear butt.
What happened just now?
Yeah, not just now. It's been going on a while. Anyways. Go ahead, Forrest. Tell us about your last year on the Evercast and your last year with EQN and Landmark.
All right, I'll start with EQN and Landmark. I was burnt out, completely burnt out on the current generation of MMOs. I played WoW for so long. It was my first like MMO, and I went in there. I was like, yay, and I did it for years, and I was just like, I needed something else. So I went to Rift. Did that for a while. Then I kept moving. Then I went back to WoW, and I moved to something else, and I went back to WoW, and then moved to Final Fantasy 14. Went back, back and forth, and eventually, I got to the point where I stood up and said, you know what, I'm past the point, and I need to see what's going to happen next in the MMO field. I think that we got to a point where theme park MMOs have played their part. It was a great run. We all had some fun in there. It was it's kind of like going to Disney World. Your first time is great. You go back your second time, still kind of fun, But then you start going back your third, your fourth, your fifth time, and it starts to become. You start to know every little thing in the Haunted Mansion. The magic's gone.
Damn you, Floridians, for actually knowing what that's like.
The magic never goes away, Flatus. The magic never goes away.
There's gonna be a guy in a mouse suit knocking on my door. Here you go! Like you get punched in the gut real quick. The magic's never gone. No, but the magic goes away. Like in an MMO world, gaming world, the magic eventually goes away. Unless you go for a long, long time, like Super Mario Brothers, you go away for you stop playing the NES, then you go back. That's fun again. But with an MMO, you go through the same content once or twice, and then it's done.
Yeah, so unless you're an alcoholic.
So now we're talking about Landmark and EverQuest Next. Landmark being this whole new building genre of MMO where it's now not just Minecraft. It's the next level. It's the tools that they're giving you. It's art and it's created. And EverQuest Next, where they're developing this AI and this persistent world that we're going to live in and go in and experience things with our friends and loved ones and guildmates and everybody that we've been looking for. So it's kind of interesting to. Hopefully, it's kind of like I think it's almost that time where we have another renaissance of gaming with MMOs, and I think
renaissance,
it's kind of cool.
Absolutely,
yeah. So and then for my year of Evercast, like Chewy said, I answered a call on a Reddit page. I wanted to start a podcast. I've been listening to podcasts for a long time, and I saw a post, and EverQuest Next is what I was like. I wanted to maybe talk about a game that's coming out, and EverQuest Next was that game, and I had answered the post, and I got to meet the 3 hosts and Caliber, who was on earlier. I got to meet 4 people who I don't like. I never thought in my day that I'd ever meet like 4 people on the internet randomly that wanted to talk about a game, that never played games together, never did any of this stuff, and they ended up being like 4 of my closest friends. And I can't think of a day that I would ever go on without doing the show, because I get to see these great people every 2 weeks and talk to them, and it's probably the greatest thing. Like if we never talk about EverQuest Next, I would still do a show with them just talking about gaming, just because they're all great people, and that is the greatest thing. Like you guys can never show up, I would still talk to these guys and talk about gaming every week, and it would be the greatest experience ever.
So true.
Yep.
We love you too, Flatus.
Yay!
I can't say any better than that. Absolutely. Talon, did you have a question to pose to everybody, or can I pose 2 real quick? Well, 1, and then we'll do another round robin.
Oh, you want me to suppose? Okay, and I want people in the chat channel to answer it too, so that we can get some feedback from you guys watching, listening, and everything. But we'll turn it over to the hosts when we, the first question is the AI question.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, this is they said that they threw it down in last year, a year ago today, and it's the one of the things we have not seen any of it other than the promise of it, and that is how the artificial intelligence is going to work. We've only heard about it. We have not seen it in action. It is one of the pillars that they promised us at SOE Live that we actually know I would say that we know the least about. So we're just gonna turn it loose. Who's got something?
Yeah, I'll start off right here.
AI?
Yeah, I'll start off right now. That's one of the most anticipated items when it comes to EverQuest Next for me, and that's the fact that this AI is supposed to be able to almost mimic player interactions. So if I'm in a village and I don't have players to create content around me, these NPCs can give me a believable story to where I might even care about them. I might be the reason that their family was killed by gnolls because I decided to raid the orcs in the area who were hunting the gnolls. And that's a direct effect that I had because of this AI and because of the way it's able to keep track. We've seen demos of Storybricks from years ago. We've seen some recent talks from Storybricks about how their technology works, but we have not seen it in action in an engine of EverQuest Next or Landmark yet. And they've announced that, there will be combat shown. We can pretty much guarantee that. I would imagine that we're going to see NPC combat. They did say a while back that PvP would probably be one of the first forms of combat to reach Landmark, because that's kind of the testing ground for EverQuest Next. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see some actual NPC fights, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we actually get to see something that's bigger than just a player versus an NPC. Maybe even NPC armies versus each other. Because you have to remember with this AI system, every single individual is able to kind of compute for itself based on a certain criteria. So if I'm a mage, an orc mage, and I have orc guardians around me, I'm going to know to stay back. And when I see a player try to flank me, I'm going to try and flank them right back. You can only imagine seeing 2 NPCs do this and strategically, it's like a chess battle. Strategically battle each other over this strategic game. And then we just enter the mix too. Oh my gosh. I'm done.
I'll pick up. I suspect that the AI that Storybricks and that SOE is working on is going to have so many variables that can play out that there is no way for SOE to predict exactly what will happen in the game world. It's basically they're gonna take their orcs, they're gonna put them in the world, and they're going to say, "Hey, orcs, this is what you like, this is what you don't like, and this is how you're going to, this is your world." And those orc bands are going to interact with the world and the players in ways that SOE isn't readily going to be able to predict. And Chwain has said it, and I totally believe it, that at some point in time, though, I suspect that we're going to see NPC army against NPC army, because that's the way they're programmed to interact with one another, and SOE is going to be like, didn't see that coming, but cool. And that I think is something that we'll see. for in regards to the AI. And then other than that, I think that that's my big thing is that I want to see a world that is unpredictable, not just from the player point of view, but from the developer point of view, that they're going to try and, make that that world, and they're going to put NPCs in the world with characteristics and desires and fears, and just see how it plays out along with the players. So I don't know. Do you guys need more? I can give you more.
We're completely on the same page when it comes to the possibilities of this AI. But what is probable? What are we actually going to see? When does it become too much for these systems? When the computations are on a server by itself, it seems. If you look at H1Z1 and how they implement their emergent AI, you can see from early live streams that their server would go down. Their AI world would kind of crash, and they'd still be left in the world, but the AI would cease operation. So you can imagine there has to be some kind of technical limitations, but what are they? Are we going to see repeatable events quite often? Or are there going to be enough variables to really keep us interested? Or are the players going to be able to modify so much that they don't even need to worry about variables increasing? I mean, when I can create stuff and I can edit NPCs and maybe put it in the game, who knows? There's a lot of possibilities. Because Storybricks, right, the programming language is based on a brick. And basically, it's like Legos. You plug in these emotions. Someone else go ahead and take the mic for a little while. I can ramble on and on about AI.
I was going to say real quick, because I'm about to do a giveaway for one, and I wanted to kind of show it off. Oh no, we lost.
Oh no, we lost stream.
I swear, Twitch updates something, we go down every 2 minutes.
Are we coming back up yet?
Yeah.
I'm coming out.
I apologize. This is not an ISP issue. This is not a computer issue.
I'm gonna let it show.
This is a Twitch issue, and we had this problem earlier today. Apologies. As the stream is coming up, if you guys can hear me, Dave Mark tweeted out a link to a subreddit, an AI subreddit, and the question was simply, give me a list of games out there with moddable AI. And what Chwena said also reminded me of that's one of my predictions for AI in Landmark. Maybe not EverQuest Next, but definitely in Landmark. They're going to give you the tools so that you can encode and you can mod the AI in Landmark to do what you'd like to do. And now that I see that we're back up, I'm going to turn it over.
What is that? What is that, Flatus?
Hi. So
Hello.
guys, for our 1 year, I went out. My friend has a vinyl printer. I went out and made Evercast decals for cars. So if you guys want to win an Evercast decal for your car and rep us wherever you go, that's right, you can put Evercast on the back of your car or your windshield and just rep Evercast wherever you go. These are one of a kind. They're white, so they'll show up real good on tint or a car. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say this is America. I can't do Europe on these because I made them so they fit in an envelope and puts postage on it, send it. So that kind of bites.
I am going to revise that. If you live anywhere in the world, and you win, give us an extra week to send them out. If Peter will send them to me, I will get them to anyone anywhere in the world.
Hey, look at that. So I'm going to raffle these off as well throughout the thing. I'll let you know what I'm raffling off. So these are going to be part of the raffles, the decal. So if you want a decal, when I announce raffle, go ahead and raffle. We also have another Iron Protocolist to give away. We also have, thanks to Rec MMO, we have a full Landmark beta access. Not the 7-day. This is the full Landmark. So if you do not have Landmark, if you're in our chat, we have a lot of people in chat. If you do not have Landmark yet, this is your chance to get it for free. Thanks to Rec MMO, he's in chat. So if you do win, thank Rec for it. And thank you, Rec, for giving it to us so we can share it with our community. So I'm going to go ahead and run that raffle while these guys talk, and I will come in and give my opinion on what they're talking about as well.
The biggest thing hype. The one thing I'm going to say, Dave Mark, he was on the team. He isn't anymore, but there's one thing he said, and it was during a panel at SOE Live, or at least he bragged about it, because he brags a lot. He said that I was asking a question on PvP.
About PvP.
And he said, you guys already heard it, but maybe some people haven't. He said that the reason people like PvP is because they haven't seen his AI yet. When AI can think like a player, I don't know. It's no hold bars. You see FPSs where there's NPCs and AI that can really give you a challenge. Imagine seeing that in an MMO. You're gonna have to party up. There's so much to talk about. Oh my gosh. One of you two take the mic for AI, Flatus or Kylest, because I and Tanlin apparently like it a lot.
I like the way that AI is described, and I saw the talk in Vienna about the AI as well. I think it's an interesting take, and I think that I think it's something that we don't see in any game at the moment, like not even MMO, but in any video game, is that an AI that thinks for itself. I mean, we're essentially, saying we're giving NPCs, inanimate objects, we're giving them intelligence to do what they're supposed to do in the world, and they will react based on what we do to them. A little bit scary, but also very cool. And Chad had mentioned earlier, when the AI system goes down, in the world, all the creatures go away. I think that's also a little creepy, especially in H1Z1, if things just kind of like all of a sudden there's a horde of zombies and they all go away. Then you're just in a desolate world against people.
They're doing some amazing things. They're showing birds flocking together and consuming corpses. A huge ecosystem that they are building for that game. Imagine what we can see come EQ next. Because
I imagine how many birds are going to eat corpses in EverQuest next, guys.
It'll be great for the necromancers to pick up the carrion.
Think about a dragon, though. Think about dragonlings, like baby dragons.
Well, that's a great point. Dragons. I just mean like mobs and difficulties right here. You have to remember that EverQuest Next is not going to be necessarily level based, but.
And now we've lost Trina. Is he back?
Can you hear me?
You're lagging hard, man.
Can you hear my voice?
We can hear your voice.
Okay, well that's all that matters. My face is ugly anyways. I'm losing my point here. Difficulty. So tiers, meaning the farther you venture from your home city, the more dangerous it gets. It's not necessarily that you're going to level up and be able to kill that dragon eventually. It's going to be, there's a dragon and I need to get as many friends as possible to help me stop this dragon from destroying my city. It's sandbox in that nature, that you're going to actually need to rely on people, from what I've heard, and from what we speculate. We'll see if that comes true, of course, but that's one thing to note, and one thing that I'm looking forward to.
I love how Trina's face is frozen in that position.
I am back.
Oh, anyway, so Kylest, he's unfrozen now. So
please,
AI.
Please, real quick. I need someone in chat to please screen cap that and send it to us.
I just did.
Look, we already have a Big Mac GIF. We don't need anything else, okay?
Oh, we always need something on you.
Trina. So, Kylest, you want to? What are your thoughts about the future of AI in EverQuest Next and Landmark?
Oh God. I'm weird. I'm not like these guys. I don't like to predict and ponder and contemplate.
Pontificate.
Did you really just say that word?
I did. For we are scholars and gentlemen. Go ahead.
You are neither.
Oh damn! Shots fired.
Shots fired. Hashtag.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
So, well, okay, then let's rephrase the question a little bit. Does AI matter in MMO?
Oh God, yes. So I don't want to be dismissive of the importance of AI in a gaming setting. I think that it will. See, I'm just going to be freaking girly and be like, oh my God, I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to get to play with dragons and I'm going to have to run away from these things that want to chase me and they're not going to be predictable. And can you imagine what this is going to be like? But beyond that, like, So if I contemplate too much, if I try to predict what's going to happen, if I sit here and build this picture of what I expect, expectations result in disappointments. And I've learned far too many times, and this is not against Sony, but far too many times in the last year that when I start to get expectations of what is going to happen and I don't get those, my satisfaction levels go down. So I don't want to do that to myself anymore. And that's not on the game company or the video game itself. That's on me. And so to prevent me from getting disappointed, I don't sit here and contemplate the mass wonders of the world that could possibly maybe be if this thing happens this way. Because it's AI and it might just not work that way.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
I agree.
And
Well,
thank you for the person in chat who called me adorable.
all right, here's a question for all you guys real quick. What is most important? I said it earlier in my MMO panel. What is most important for you in an MMO? What makes an MMO playable for you? What keeps you enticed? Who'd ever like to start off?
Not hunting bear butts.
If we can bring an EQ in, say what you look forward to and what you think will keep you in EQ in. How about that?
Being able to log in and know that there's something to do and that I can go and do it. And
Nailed it.
yeah, it's that simple. And then now, one of the reasons I stopped playing Vanguard, right, is because I had felt like I had run out of things to do in that game. And even though it was an open world sandbox after 5 years, 6 years, like they didn't add anything to it, and that you can see all the nooks and crannies and explore everything you want. So they have to make the game large enough that a person like me can log in and not have done everything, or make it so that you cannot simply keep up with everything.
I listen. You nailed it. I want to be able to log in and know that there is always something to do, and not the I need to go to Quest Hub A to do Quest Hub B. Like I need to go along the quest line. I just want to be able to log in and be like, I haven't explored that area yet, and we lost video.
There's some weird going on all over the place today. We have spent too much time streaming.
Oh boy.
My ISP's crappy, guys. You know that.
All right, so good. We got it. We got me pointing out to the imaginary distance. But yeah, like I want to be able to just log in and point in a direction. Like I haven't gone in that direction. Let me go adventure over there and see what happens. I want to be able just to do that. I don't want it to be where it's like I just go, I have to follow the quest line because that's how I'm going to level, because I can't go to that section because such and such section, is only for such and such level. Now that they've removed the levels, I should be able to go and I should be able to flip a coin and say land ho and just run and say adventure and have fun. And I think that, see what happens.
What are you hoping for the most out of EverQuest next? Something that you've been missing in modern day MMOs?
How about what would really anger me?
We can go that way too, sure.
I positively despise dailies. And if you have dailies, I will not play. I will not play the run around anymore. They drive me crazy. So what I'm really looking forward to is an MMO that I can log in and play some games and enjoy myself and be able to obtain things in a manner that doesn't require me to grind reputation to get the gear that I want, or to grind reputation to get that stupid mount because it's pretty. Let me buy it. Don't make me grind the rep for it. Don't make me play the stupid game of Kai, come on, this way. Here's the carrot. Come on. So I'm looking forward to a change in that mentality of the, get on the carousel day after day after day. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, and it does depend on how dailies work, but generally I don't like dailies.
Well, I mean, dailies are exactly the same as levels. It's a gate for content. Hold on. Baraki Blade Forger, that's a crazy name to pronounce. He says, just because there are no character levels doesn't mean that there won't be gated content. Sure. But I think what Kailis might be getting at, and what I definitely, from my point of view, hope, is that gated content isn't gated because of a mechanic, but because I haven't been able to achieve my greatest abilities with my character and with my guild. I don't want there to be an artificial block saying, oh, you haven't grinded for 15 hours. I want it to be, you haven't figured out the strategy quite yet. You need to keep working at it. You need to get more armies. You need to build some better armor, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand what you're saying with the gated content or the other kinds of levels, and I get that. We know that there's tiers to the world, and tier 3 would probably be the content for like a raid group. I'm okay with that. I just don't want to be gated in the sense of if I walk into an area and I get my ass handed to me, it's not because I'm low enough level. It's because I need to go figure out what I need to do to get through that content. Not that I need to go and just level 10 levels so I can go defeat the mobs in that area. It needs to be more than that.
Somebody said you need to deliver more pies before you can fight that dragon. I hate these levels. You know what? It's like that and the stupid love letters that I have to deliver. I'm sure we've had this conversation before.
We have.
But I am a badass orc warrior. I am not delivering your stupid love letters.
and that's what I'm like going in my head is like I don't generally dislike doing dailies or rep grinds. That's like if I know that there is something that I can accomplish by doing them, I'm one of those people that will log in and do them. So I don't dislike them in that regard. However, I don't want the daily to become so generic or so like I want to, the non-thinking. I'm going to log in and like I'm going to zone out, and 10 minutes later I'm done with my dailies and I don't know what happened with.
Oh my gosh! Right?
And and again, I was like, this is the guy. I'm the guy who's like, I will do it. I don't dislike doing it. I just it's like, man, it makes the game easy to walk away from. Because you walk away from it, and because you weren't really gaining anything during those 10 minutes, you feel like you got those 10 minutes back when you stopped doing those dailies. You don't feel like you've lost out on playing the game because you're zoning out and doing something else. So again, like I don't like whatever type of gated content that they're going to put in or whatever gate mechanics that they construct. I don't have all the answers for that, but make it so that it's interesting enough so that I don't mentally check out and play the game on autopilot for those 10, 15, 20 minutes. That would be my point.
I don't know how you do your dailies in 10, 20 minutes. It takes me like an hour and a half, but maybe I'm just not doing it right. You're better than I am, damn straight. For me, when it comes to EverQuest Next and what I'd really like to see in an MMO, of course, there's so many things. Multi-classing is one of them. The fact that, in EverQuest Next we can garner these classes through quests, through combat, through trial and error. We can take them, we can level them up, and we can do so while playing other classes. So we really have an ability to change up our playstyle. That's important for me, and I think that ties into combat as well, more active-based combat. I want something like Smite, where, even though it's third person, even though it's an MMO, I have the ability to dodge, and I have the ability to weave, and I can aim my shots. There's no reason for me to just have a little telegraph on the ground, and oh, there it goes. Make me move, make me be strategic. It goes on even further. And it's loading. No, it's loading. So what happened was I brought up that I hated healers that had to stay in the back because they were in plate, and then Kailis added paladins. Right. Yeah. So we are back. I think we're back. What an odd night for Twitch. It's kind of been going on all day though.
Yeah.
And we're back.
It really has. It really, really has.
Yeah, absolutely.
We broke Twitch.
Yeah, they were like, Evercast having a 1 year.
They're saying we're breaking D&D classes right now. That's why we're paying. Yes, MMOs were based on D&D to start, I suppose. But let's get past that. Let's
okay.
A new renaissance, a new Viva la Revolution de MMOs.
I played D&D, but my first pencil and paper game was this one. That was my first paper and pencil game.
You busted out the Star Wars source book.
West End Games, baby.
You're trapped on Endor.
Which is funny because my first character was an Ewok.
Oh, wow.
Ewoks are
That's pretty awesome. That's cool. Well, Talon, what about you? You asked the question, but you didn't answer, did you? What's a class stereotype you'd like to break?
You realize that he has his headset off, therefore he cannot hear you.
I can't. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see Skype. Your cameras aren't showing up. I'm going off the old feed.
Oh,
Well, Tamlin, welcome back. Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you.
So, what about you?
I don't know. I'm trying to think here. Like, I definitely agree with the I'd like to see paladins that aren't tanks. How about a DPS using a pole arm, like a lancer from Final Fantasy 14? That's a class that I'm very interested in. Like use plate armor with a halberd instead of the two-handed sword or the the big axe or the big hammer. Something like that. I'd love to see. That's my favorite class. It doesn't matter if you call it a paladin or a Templar or whatever you want to call it. It's a plate-wearing badass using a halberd.
Yo.
How do we do on that raffle? We get that done?
Yeah, Jefferton won the landmark beta key. Jefferton, enjoy that. That's not the 7-day, so you have full access to when landmark from now until landmark goes live. You have full access to landmark and all its goodies. So enjoy that.
And once again, thanks to Rec MMO for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Rec, for that. For me, I think that we need to. I don't know. I kind of want to see. I don't know. I like. We always know like mage wear cloth. Mage can technically wear leather too. Like, why does it always gotta be cloaks? I've seen mages in pants.
And why can't a mage have like nice plate shoulders and some plate shin guards and some plate van braces and cloth the rest of the way? Look at some of the Jedi in like the Clone Wars era. They had half and half.
Why not battle mage? Battle mage.
Yeah, the first
sexy.
The first
battle mages are cool.
Like the first text-based MMO that I played before I started playing Vanguard, and it predated Vanguard by like I don't know, from like 1998. The old dial-in muds, right? Like, so you're playing in your AOL chat room and they're scrolling text. But that was one of the classes. They had two different types of mages. They had a moon mage and a war mage. And war mages they could wear any type of armor that anybody could wear. And that was one of the things I loved about the game. It's called Dragon's Realm. That any class could use any weapon and could get they could train as much as they wanted on using a sword or an axe or whatever, or magic if that was their interest, if they wanted to be interested in magic. It was just that certain classes were drawn and to certain abilities, and because they were drawn to those abilities, they learned them better, right? So your ranger learned survival skills better than any other skills. Mage learned magic better than anybody else in the game, but that didn't mean that they couldn't wear armor. They just had a harder time learning it as good as the other paladin class, that for as an example. And so I really look, and that was why it was so hard to go from playing that MMO to playing like the traditional MMO, like, the original EverQuest Vanguard. And, it's like, and Vanguard's another great example for that. Like if you were playing a ranger, your ranger, this is what you did. You stood at this distance and arrowed, or you stood at this distance and these are the weapons you used. There wasn't a whole lot of variation to it. And it got, it's kind of rote. It was you at max level, all of your rangers had the same stats and the same equipment because min-maxing, I guess, is what you would say.
In EverQuest, rangers were kind of the black sheep, absolutely. So maybe it's a trend. Maybe we need to see some damn good rangers. And in EQ Next, let me headshot people. Like Age of Conan had a combat where you could zoom in on your bow. You could actually get bonus points for hitting people in the head and stuff. I'd love to see something like that. That'd be cool. But yeah, rangers need love.
Headshot applied directly to the forehead. Headshot. apply directly to the forehead.
Yeah, we hope you all like those commercials. We wrote them for each other, and we had a lot of fun doing them. And if you haven't heard them, you'll have to tune in next week for our pre-show, and we'll play them again. Maybe with some new ones. I don't know. Can we get to the fun topic?
I would love to do more.
Would you? Yeah. Well, how about this? If you guys have any ideas for commercials for us, send them to our email or put them up on Twitter. We will do our best. Now, keep them PG appropriate. We love game-related ones, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Send it to our email. Or, listen, if you feel like you're up to it, record it in Audacity.
And send it to us.
And send it to us. We'll you keep it fair enough. We'll throw it up. If you want to do an Evercast commercial, we'll use it. I am not ashamed.
All right, so that's Guilds and Landmark. That's a fun topic.
Hoorah! Yeah. Have you guys joined one yet?
No, and
I haven't either.
And but I thought you were asking around about that.
I was. Look, Brad Power and Coda Voss need to step it up and get me a dang guild because they're the ones I play with the most, and apparently they don't have one yet. So I can't have a guild that I'm in with random people. I guess I can, but I'm waiting on Brad. Blame him.
See, okay, so
it's a huge addition.
So back going to what I said about what makes you play an MMO, right? And this is going to go even further back into an interview that Dave Georgeson did, probably a month or two ago last year. So like May of last year, and he was talking about the communities, and he was talking about the crafting community. He was basically making a statement about the crafting community is that is the glue that binds your MMO community together. Excuse me. He was basically making the point that the people that organize the activities within a game are what bring the community together. And so what makes me log into an MMO? Give me something to do that I don't have to organize myself. And when I did my 30-minute stream earlier today, I said it, and I'll say it again, that if you've got a guild out there that is looking for an able-bodied, positive member of the community, hit me up. I would like to contribute. I don't want to lead. I do enough outside of Landmark right now that I can't take on, and I'm not that good a builder. I'm not that much interested in building, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? If you challenge me to be like, this is what we're going to do, I'll try and find a way to make it happen because that's the type of person I am.
Tamlin and I had a group build going for a brief moment in time. When we were kind of planning that out, yeah, whatever. We were kind of planning that out. That was some of the most fun I've had in Landmark. And I've wanted to do big group builds, but I guess I haven't been in enough and really dedicated myself to finding that group and really playing a part in it. But now's the perfect chance. Guilds are a way to start bringing together the community to make that bigger metagame. And just wait till there's builder guilds and there's crafter guilds and there's harvester guilds and they all interact with each other. It's a step in the right direction for the game. And guild builds eventually, like cities, they're talking about multiple claim plots and stuff like that, right?
Well, right, but Trina, you and I proved that you don't have to have guilds on top of one, or you don't have to have players on top of each other to make a guild build, right? Like if I put mine, and I proved that when my parents were building when beta first launched, they like, hey, you take that end of the valley, I'll take this end of the valley, and that was what we imagined, right? We were up on this plateau. There was only two ways up to the plateau without using the grappling hook, right? And so we are like, if this, we created the whole story for it, right? Like, there's the keep, right? And there's a castle. And so the first thing that the Baron is going to do in his land, right? He's going to put a fortified position there so that in times of war or in times of trouble, the community has a focal point for, the castle. It's a defensible position. It's a position of power, right? And so what happens when you get stability in a region is that all of a sudden people come to it. The economy of that local community grows. And what's the next step? They branched out, they grow. And so in my mind, when I was creating my valley, I had one person in our little community put their plot on top of the hill, one person on one end of the valley, one person on the other end of the valley, and we basically created our own little barony, 4 plots that weren't connected directly but indirectly. They weren't on top of each other. And so guilds are great, and I see them adding a whole lot of functionality to guilds later on. Are you kidding me?
It's back. It's back. It was a short outage. Short outage. No, you're fine. Everything pretty much got. Oh wow, Kyless is stuck in an interesting position.
Yeah, she's like, ah. Anyway, so.
Oh wow, she stuck herself there. That's even cooler.
More cool.
I can. So here we go. I'm losing my train of thought. Guilds will eventually be able to do the super cities, stacking many claims right next to each other. Even without that functionality, I have seen with Trina, I have seen with other members of the community that you don't need it, that you can still have great builds. I don't want to be the leader of it, but I will harvest with you. I will craft with you. I will try my meager building skills with you if you want to hit me up. I am so sorry that the Twitch has been dropping and I've been rambling. I'm going to turn it over. Who's next?
I am going to commandeer the channel. I would like to move our last 30 minutes into the discussion I've been waiting this whole year to talk about, and that's SOE Live predictions, if that's okay with everyone. And with full consensus from the jury, we shall move on. Everyone go around. Let's do round robin. One thing we'd like to keep it flowing. First off, I predict that we're going to see the power of the players come into being, and the fact that SOE Mote will be shown. And with SOE Mote, we're going to see that company that SOE was able to work with a while back to get their product of player-made animation studios. I think that Landmark will be able to support not only facial emotes, but full-body emotes, and I think we might see that come SOE Live. Who's next?
Full body emotes, really?
That's what I'm going with. I think that I'll be able to, make a little dance if I want to and put it in the game myself, maybe on Player Studio. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Chad gets to live his life, his lifelong dream of being a choreographer, right?
you know it. Whoever's next. I guess we could go Flatus is above me or Kyless is to the left of me. So, Kyless.
Oh god. Go to Flatus.
Okay, Flatus. What is one thing? It can be an easy prediction. You know there's combat. Right. Say combat.
That's what she said.
I think we will see. I won't even go with combat. That's just almost a give me. I think what we will see is we'll see. I think we'll see legit. I don't want to say what we saw last year because that was way not even alpha footage of EverQuest Next, but I think we will see in-house alpha of EverQuest Next stuff that not our version of Landmark Alpha, but their inner sanctum of. We will see some of that.
Yeah, because last year was obviously a constructed demo. They went above and beyond just to make that little play session. So you're right. We might. Yeah. It's probably running on a server somewhere this time, an actual instance. Yeah.
I think that we are going to see the most epic crafting system that has ever existed in an MMO at SOE Live. I think they're going to show us more than just the little teases that they've been giving us of, oh, well, we might be doing this and we might be doing that. No, I think we're going to see a full-on working version. Maybe not to scale, but I think we're going to really see the crafting that they've been teasing at.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we'll see.
All right, my prediction. And this is, if Andoran is still in channel, this one's for Andoran. Not only they're going to expand Player Studio so that it's not only props, it's going to be music that composers can create and upload into Player Studio, and that players that are building in Landmark can buy it, can purchase it to play in their building, so that they can add ambient music to their, to whatever they want. They want spooky music. They want lighthearted little dancey music. If they want, what is it? The Moss Eisley, cafe, that sort of, jazzy music.
It was the Moss Eisley Cantina.
Right, but somebody's going to be able to compose that music and put it up on Player Studio, and then the players that are building those type of taverns can purchase it, so that when people go into their creation, there's a level of ambience added to it that they don't have the skill to build. Maybe, or not the skill to build. They don't have the musical skills. They have the building, they have the players. Now they can add the next layer of ambience, which is music.
Yeah, they've talked about the possibilities, how they would love to have more sounds available for your actual plot. I think that's very plausible. It's back to me, right? This time I'm going to go for an easy one, because the one I said was pretty far off, and it might be next year, not this year. This time I'm going to say that we are going to see a demonstration of the AI to a point where I believe that they will create an NPC or modify NPCs in a demo setting, and we will see the difference in how it plays out. That's what I'm going with. And it's back to Flatus.
We will see. It's gonna sound weird, but I think what we will see is I forgot completely. I think besides combat, we'll start to see, and I'm going to take it a step further than combat. I think we'll see weapons and crafting weapons in the game, which is something we haven't discussed, because you're going to have combat, you're going to have weapons, and one thing they haven't really popped out is craftable weapons, and how they will go from just average to like a legendary, and the types of damage they'll do because of that, and how we'll be able to get those items and forge those items, and maybe lava will come into play, since now they've kind of figured it out.
Well, we saw lava textures last year, and we still haven't seen lava in the game. So yeah, it's like they held off on the textures just to, I guess, work on something that can move. I don't know. You're right. Maybe we will see lava enter the game.
I'm telling you, I may knock these out of the park.
We've seen, okay, my next prediction. We've seen glass. We've seen static water. Water as a what do they call it? Water as a voxel. Dynamic water is coming, so that we can create real water.
I disagree. I don't think that'll be SOE Live, but I hope you're right.
Real quick, I know we're predicting, but I want to jump in here real quick. Zubay sent me a message, and he gave me 3 unlimited beta keys to Landmark. So I have.
Oh my god!
More. Yeah. So I have 3. Yeah. So if you didn't win a Landmark beta key, and I know a lot of people had raffled for that. So you have 3 more chances to get one before the show's over.
And remember, guys, Landmark's the closest thing you're getting to EQ in until probably next year. Hop in Landmark, see what the combat's going to be like right after SOE Live. Now is the perfect time to get in. If you don't have a key, post up. Alright, so let's continue. I think that's... I don't know, Tanlin, I don't mean to rain on your parade. I did say something like player-made animation, so I guess I shouldn't. But
right?
On the roadmap, it was like a September-ish thing, and it's taken them so long just to implement, static water. I don't know if they're anywhere close. We'll see. We'll see.
They don't have to show. They don't have to show it to us. And we're ready to release it into Landmark now. They could just do a demo of it. They'll say like,
"True,
hey, you asked for it. Here it is." And do the demo. Do a demonstration of the power behind having dynamic water. And Dave didn't. He was asked in one of the Landmark live streams about water with viscosity, right? So that you could make tar or you could make mercury, right? And he didn't say like, "Oh no, dynamic water, we're nowhere close." He was just like, we'll have to consider that.
But why else would you talk about viscosity, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I mentioned lava, because I think
that was what cued me in on the dynamic water, flowing water, because if you can have flowing liquid water, you can modify it to become mud or lava or whatever you want to have.
Miss Kylest?
You want more predictions from me?
Yeah, absolutely. You did say a huge one with crafting, so...
I love that my husband rolled his eyes at that.
No, I did.
I'm gonna go with the silly prediction, and I am gonna say that Dave is gonna show up to the zombie prom dressed as a zombie.
Whoa, now that's a little crazy.
Whoa.
A steampunk zombie.
That would be cool. I would
Wouldn't
give him
it?
mad props. I could see him maybe doing that. That would be awesome. Oh my gosh. I like your prediction.
I kind of like that prediction too.
Brass is gonna come as a dwarf. That's my prediction.
A dwarf.
Yeah.
Zombie
A dwarf
dwarf.
and something. It'll
A
be a zombie.
zombie
Yeah,
dwarf.
most likely. Yeah.
She does love blending like whatever.
We dropped.
Whatever.
Mother.
Good, because I
Mother
couldn't get it out of my
Owlbear.
face. The owlbears. All right. As soon as we're back, then actually I can still run the thingy. Oh, Chrono won the call in his flight suit.
Are we back? Yeah, I think we're back.
Good for Chrono.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Flatus, take back over, sir. What were you saying?
Oh, hi. I forgot. I was so excited for.
That's awesome.
No. Oh, like I was saying, Brass likes mixing the games that SOE has. Like she'll take Brass, her the character Brass, and she'll make Brass into Brass and like last year, Brass and PlanetSide 2,
Which was amazing. Go Tyrants!
Which was awesome. So I would like to see a zombie-esque H1Z1 Brass. I think that would be kind of cool.
She did that.
She's
at,
posted pictures.
that.
Yeah, she's already. Awesome.
Yeah, she's already done it.
Awesome.
So
the
we may
block
see
party.
it. We
Yep.
may see it again. We don't know.
We don't.
What we'll see.
Who knows? Maybe she'll surprise us.
Yeah. She may do calling this flight suit Brass style.
Oh.
I was supposed to do a costume this year, but I'm a bad girl and I didn't do it.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God, she was hyping it up too. Like, when was that? I was still in
Nope.
school. It had to
You
be
were.
like January or February. It was around there.
And it was, and then I made the mistake of thinking that my personal business wouldn't just like and explode.
True.
But it did.
True. And congrats on that. Kylas makes some awesome. You call it yarn, right?
I do call
I
it
don't like
yarn.
to make any mistakes. I
Don't make
know
the mistake of
nothing.
calling
You
it
learned
string.
your lesson by calling it knitting.
She makes awesome yarn. Okay,
String.
and I'm gonna stop talking right there about that.
Yep.
Call it string or rope.
Oh, and
my
even
gosh.
even Pentapod's like, oh, no copper, damn it. Yeah, I'm sorry, no copper this year, but that means that copper next year will be freaking epic because
It better be.
Yes,
You'll have a whole year to work on copper.
right?
Congrats to Corona for winning the first flight suit. I'm about to give out the other flight
Oh,
suit
awesome.
now.
You know, he's gonna look quite slender in that flight suit. Congrats, Krona. He trolls me all the time. I have to troll him a little bit back. My SOE Live prediction.
And he's gonna
Dun,
freeze.
dun, dun.
Full
My SOE Live
try again.
prediction, part 2, or try to, is we will see Caves 2.0. We're talking about mobs and landmark, and mobs are supposed to be deeper down in the earth. Well, I think that we will see the second stage of Caves that will be a lot bigger. We might even see some buildings underneath. Who knows how far it'll go? But we will definitely, I imagine, see those mobs that we might be seeing with Caves 2.0. That's my prediction right there. We should be betting on this or something.
No, we shouldn't.
Okay, we should not be
Lose.
betting on this. I have no money.
Now, don't give me. Correct me if I'm wrong. They've talked about when you're going under the surface of the ground, there's going to be ruins under the ground, right? Like you're going to be able to dig down.
They did, but
And we
I
haven't
believe
seen that yet. Or do you
I believe
think that
I can't quote the actual cast, but Terry was talking about the fact that they're still testing their technology, and that while they wanted to do that, and it's still a plan, I don't know if they're there yet. Of course, I can't speak for them directly, but he did say that they were still working on their technology and seeing how far they can push it. But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm hoping for, right? A huge underground city that's procedurally generated. Oh my god. So yeah, I think you might be right, Talon. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's supposed to be 3 levels of caves, 3 full levels, and then we still haven't seen any floating islands or anything like that. We still haven't seen. Oh, that's a good prediction. What about water that's not ocean-based, like lakes and things? Static lakes. They said that's something they wanted to do. Do you think that will be later? Because it's probably going to require a wipe. Do you think they'll wait for that, or do you think we might see that post SOE Live? I mean, combat might require a wipe. Who knows?
I really don't know what I think about that. That's a good question. Because it seemed like they were doing everything they could to avoid the wipe, but I think they're going to have to do one between the launch and the where we're at right now, the beta to the actual launch. I really don't know. That is one that I am just uncomfortable even offering a guess on. I think that they're going to do everything they can to try and avoid that, but maybe they have to.
Yeah. They've done a really good job so far in implementing water and things like that. Only a certain amount of claims actually had to be moved and wiped, so I'm confident. I mean, my claim... Oh my god, I don't think I paid upkeep. Oh my god, please. My claim is not permanent anyway, so it doesn't really matter for me.
All right, hold on. Here's my offer. Okay. I am really good at logging into a game like every day, every week or something like that and doing simple tasks, right? We were talking about dailies either. Hire me. I'm putting myself out there. If you need a guild, hire me and I will pay your upkeep. I'll log in, I'll harvest the copper, I'll pay it. I don't know what it's in it for me.
Would too.
I don't know what it's in it for me. But yeah, I just want to see who out there is who make an offer. What do I get out of it, and I'll see about doing it for you.
I can't make that offer on stream, but we'll talk after the stream is over.
I'll make an offer right now. When I log in and I confront you in a PvP setting, I will go easy on you.
Bring it.
Oh my gosh.
Chewina is in so much trouble.
I know, right? They're going to be hunting me. It's going to be ridiculous. I will build the tallest castle, and I will employ the works of Brad and Coda. I don't know.
You have to sleep eventually.
Eventually, I do. I don't know if I have any more SOE Live predictions. I mean, it's easy to say what we can expect based on what they've said. Yeah.
So they've been doing like the we're gonna do this race, and what do you think the next race should be? And what, you know what? They're gonna have dwarves there.
Well, yeah.
If they didn't, they're just gonna have dwarves there. They're gonna have dwarves.
That's a good one.
That's a good point. What kind of races are we gonna see? Last time we saw something was a dark elf, and that was November.
Do you think they're going to save the reveal of what did they say? The 7 races that are going to be available at launch. Do you think they're going to have like in-game models of all of the races?
Yes, there will be the races at the game, even at SOE Live. Even if they're just like really basic wireframes, we're going to see the races.
I don't know if we'll see all, but I'm with Kai. I think we'll see a majority. At least when they show us the classes. I think that they'll show us the classes or the combat, maybe on a variety of races. Yep.
We're going to see more than Chester Cheetah.
And we'll see Karen 2.0.
It is starting to really kind of grow on me now. I don't know what it is about the Karen, but I'm kind of liking him now.
It's that animation for me. I really love the emotion in that face, and just the character was really cool.
It's the star and all of the symbolism and stuff for me. It's not the fact that they're kitties.
That's cool. I think we'll see the new models. I think, because that was the biggest thing, and people are like, "Oh, I wonder what that cat's going to look like this year." That's probably a guarantee.
Right, and so all we saw was the lion and the female. Now we've seen like a variety of humans, but we haven't seen any of the other races. I'm sure they, yeah.
And I'm so excited for it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right. And I'm holding off. Like I have not. Like I'm leaning towards humans simply because I always kind of play humans in MMOs these days. I could go dwarf. I could go Karen. It depends on the gnomes that are in the game. If I lean towards like playing a gnome, but they did, I don't know, just doing the research about the Karen really got me into like that as a playable race.
Oh, you know what? There was something I wanted to say earlier about something that SOE's done an amazing job on this entire year from the reveal, and that is lore. The e-novels are amazing. They're still pumping out new ones. The last one was from a new author. They're doing a great job, especially with these race reveals, and giving us a lot of depth into these. I'm dropped. We've never dropped so much and still held at 64 people.
Well, it's because it's not. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not like an internet service where like there's an outage, right? So it's not like, and it's not a bandwidth issue like where we're dropping frames and so it's like stutter. It's like Twitch is like, nope, no more, and then they're like, sorry. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I was just saying that SOE's done an amazing job with lore, from their e-novels to especially these workshops with the races. The fact that Kyless was so enthralled with the Karen, when you asked her a month ago, she was like, oh my god, the Karen. That says something. They're doing a great job in establishing their narrative, and they gave us that map last year at SOE Live that's like, look at all our eras, and look at all this lore that we're developing. And I was like, there's no flippin' way they're developing that much lore. There's no way. Now I believe that they are planning and will succeed in developing such a strong virtual world with such a strong narrative that I'm going to get sucked in. Day one.
I would say that they knew that going into designing an MMO. Like from my point of view, like if you're going to create a story with a narrative and put it into a game setting, right? That's what the legacy of EverQuest is, right? It's a game. It's a story and a narrative stuck inside of a game. And in order to be able to drive that with any sort of reality behind it, you have to have that layer of history to it, and those individual narratives that are weaving to create that fabric of the story. And you can't add that in after the fact. It has to be like that's where you start. And
day one.
There was David Eddings. He's one of my favorite fantasy novels, which is he wrote the Bulgarian and the Mallorean. And if you read one of his nonfiction books about writing the books, and he says like he learned early on that you start with a map. And you just doodle, right? Like, okay, so here's the mountain here. Well, what does mountains mean? I mean, maybe a forest, maybe a river. And then you start to tell the story about that river. And from that story of that river comes the story of those river people. And then, and it grows from that map into this massive world. And so I think that, the game and the technology is great. And they knew that from the get-go that had to be groundbreaking. But they also understood that if you're going to have that story, you can't, you can't just, make that up on the fly. You got to know a little bit about what's going on in the recent past in order to make the recent future, and then project that future into the further future.
And just the gray area that they're giving all these races, and giving even the bad guys that it's a lot of depth. They're onions. They are Shreks, and that allows a lot of potential to play into the story going forward. Big games like Rift, they get stuck in, oh, they're the bad guys and we're the good guys. So then it was the Guardians during versus the Defiance, and they were so dichotomically separated that the storyline couldn't go anywhere until they merged them back together to explore new things. And they're starting off in a place where we could explore and new story avenues, or as Kylus would say, Deus Ex Machinas would appear, to keep the story going. And I mean, Steve Denuser worked on EQ2. He went with Kurt Schilling at 38 Studios. He was working on the MMO. R.A. Salvatore and Todd McFarlane were working on those, two excellent storytellers. He obviously brought back some of his knowledge from that project, and it's showing already. I don't know.
I forgot that. Like I recently, because Morgard, which is Steve Neuser, recently posted that he made it public a postmortem on Vanguard, because when he came back over from, I forget the name of the studio, but it was the Legacy of Amalur, Kingdoms of
Amalur.
Right.
Yeah.
Capricorn. Project Capricorn was the MMO that they were designing.
Copernicus, but yeah.
Okay, how more?
Sorry, I'm saving you from the.
Anyway, so I kind of know what I'm talking about here, but yeah, I forgot that was where he came from. He was writing an MMO with and Seth MacFarlane and, R.A. Salvatore were part of his collaboration. Like they were helping him tell the story of this world. And so I think that's very important to consider, that these are people that were in his ear telling him important stories to drive a narrative that he's going to, bring with him into EverQuest Next.
I have one thing to say. Because it's important. Oh my God, 4 more days!
Wow.
I have to work for 2 of them.
I'm working, I don't care.
I work weekends. This is so sad. I hate my life. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be catching recaps of pretty much everything.
What kills me is this year's badge just says Telon. Last year's badge said Telon, Vanguard Saga of Heroes.
Dang.
My poor little heart is broken.
That was one of the hardest things for me going to SOE Live, was picking what game. I play PlanetSide 2 so much, I played a lot of EverQuest 2, what the do I choose? I ended up putting PlanetSide 2, but then I put my character name and my faction or my servers. I put 2 servers and asked for server name. I put 1 from each game and just slashed it. Is that what you did too? Or yeah, that was a hard decision.
I bet. I think that learning from SOE last year going into this year, if they're streaming the panel, I don't necessarily need to be there in person, because I'm not one of those guys that needs to feel like I was right there. I was the first to know. I like going back through the stream later, like the video of it later, because you can pause it and you can, if you need to take notes, if you need to, have a moment and be like, did I just hear that? Rewind it, play it again. I would much rather enjoy the media in that way than actually at that live. For me, really, SOE Live, going into this year, it's more about connecting with the people that I've met in the community.
That's why I wanted to go.
And you will.
I will next year.
I just want to meet Flatus. I haven't met Flatus yet. It makes me a sad panda bear butt thing.
Look, the guy doesn't travel anywhere, okay? He can't even drive up to Orlando or meet halfway.
Listen, man.
All right,
listen.
Whatever. You've had plenty of time, even before you lost that little job, okay?
Come on, son. Come on. I'll drive up.
This November-ish, we're getting together, all right?
That's can do that.
The end of it.
We can do that. We'll make time.
All right, you better
do it.
All right. All right. Any last EQN topics? I mean, SOE Live is the next show. We will not have any voice to a mass audience until then. Is there anything you have to get off your chest about the upcoming information? Or I'm pretty satisfied. It's weird. I'm super hyped and I'm anxious. But I guess having enough time with Landmark and starting to get to know how they plan to reveal information and how they're developing the game, I'm kind of in a happy place. Which is weird, because you asked me a month ago with Landmark, and I was ranting and raving. How about you guys? Anything? Any last words?
Yeah, I got it. I gotta say, watching the process of Sony go from, for any company really. I mean, Sony kind of kicked the door in and said, "Bam, here it is. Here's the table, and here are all our cards." And now you're starting to see other companies do that because it's working. Because gamers kind of want to know what's going on and kind of like to be involved. It makes for a better game. It's kind of like that thing, do you continue to do something bad, or do you want opinions on how you can make it better? It's the same thing for us. We want opinions. If we are doing something bad, we want to know how we can improve this show. We want to be able to improve it. We have an open door. Come and tell us what we're doing wrong, and we will do our best to try to make it better. Sony's kind of doing the same thing. And then because of that, we figured out 0 voxels, negative voxels, and stuff they didn't know that we figured out.
Voxel strings, you're right.
Bada boom.
It's voxel theory.
Voxel theory. Voxel man theory.
Instead of string theory, it is voxel theory.
Yep.
Practiced by the only smartest of voxelmancers. It was supposed to come out clearer than that. I apologize. Anyways, Kailas, Tamlin, you guys are actually... When are you leaving? You said 4 days?
No, it starts in 4 days. We're leaving on Wednesday. We're leaving.
It starts in 4 days? Oh my god. Wow.
Right?
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys have anything to say before you hit the road to our audience, or to us, or to yourselves?
Flatus, do we have time for another giveaway?
We do. We should.
We do. I have. I'll save one landmark game.
Well,
I'll give out what. We do. Oh my god.
That one that he wants to give away.
Never mind that. Never mind. We'll save that for other things.
Do you want to give away this one, or
yes,
just
that's
dropped?
Twitch, why you no work?
It's half funny. It's half frustrating.
I know.
Hey, Flatus, if you would,
Hi.
kind sir, if you
Yeah,
have the time, I have a $15 station cash card in my hand. It is good not for Landmark or EverQuest Next. It's good for all Sony online games.
All right, so let me go get that. Before everyone starts going all crazy, let me get it up and going.
We lost Shalina.
Okay. He moved rooms. Please, everybody, I'm typing it. We've been doing it all night. Please type !raffle. If you want a $15 station cash card, which is good on any game, that's Landmark, DCUO, EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, any future game, H1Z1. If you want $15 in station cash money, that's a good start. So please type out !raffle. That is $15. That's free money. You can't go wrong with free money.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry.
We're giving away. And while everybody's entering for the raffle, I will say this. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to everyone that came out and spent 12 hours with us. It was one of the most grueling and tiring and most rewarding things and amazing things that we had to do for this show.
She says that, and she lost 4 games of Hearthstone.
You're sleeping on the couch, man. I don't know. I was pretty entertaining for me. I would watch it every week. If you had to sleep on the couch every week, wouldn't care. Nothing. But
I didn't just lose 4 games. I lost more than that, but you shouldn't count.
But I want to thank all of our audience that came out and continues to come out every Sunday that we do this show at 10 o'clock at night. That's a work night. We get that, and we appreciate it so much. We go to work the next day, early in the morning, and it's tough. But thank you so much for doing this. And go follow us on Twitter. And we want you guys to be more interactive with us. So please, evercast.show@gmail.com. Please send us your emails. Ask us questions. Tell us how you're feeling, about SOE, what you want to think, and just share your ideas with us. And if you want to come on the show, you feel passionate about a topic, we may be coming up and you feel like you want to share your idea with it. Send us in an MP3. If you don't feel like coming on the show, type it out. We'll read it on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Write it out.
Speaking of which.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, while I'm giving some people some extra time real quick because we didn't do it on the show and I feel bad and we need to do it. Delman from EQ2 Talk sent us an email, and we did read these out loud. Did I miss it?
Well, no, we haven't read it out loud. The email that he sent us? Yeah, we should, though.
Let me go ahead. Evercasters, and this is from Delmon from EQ2 Talk, the EQ2 Talk podcast. Evercasters, a huge congratulations on your 1-year anniversary, and welcome to the solid food space. I don't always get to listen live to your broadcasts as they land smack dab in the middle of our raids. I snuck in a few times though, and that has resulted in us in an occasional wipe. Just don't tell my raid leader, KK. It will be our little secret. You guys have a great thing going on Evercast, and it has taught me a few things. Number 1, crocheting, not knitting. Number 2, Chewy is really comfortable in his own skin. I mean, come on. What other man's man would be comfortable admitting that he got into MMOs because of Kim Possible? Let us never forget that. 3, it's pronounced Flatus, not flatulence. Surprisingly, he's correct. It is pronounced flatus. Keep up the great work. Here's to one so far and many, many more to come. Delman, co-host of the other EverQuest game podcast, EQ2Talk.com. And we have one more during, or is it Rec had sent us a prediction. He said, I predict that SOE will show off new and improved Karen models. And we mentioned that, and yes, we absolutely agree with you, Rec. And thank you so much for giving us a landmark code to give away on our show. And thank you for supporting us, as always. And I am going to give away the $15 card right now. And Mitstunner. Anyway, look, you won!
Mitstunner!
Mitstunner won!
Congratulations!
So we're going to send you a private message, and I'll send you the private message, and then reply back, and we'll get you that code. Or Tanlin or Kyless will message you, but I have it right here, so I'll just send out a little quick message to you saying hi, and then we'll send you the code. So thank you yet again so much. Guys, I know one of us usually gets picked to do a camp, but can we attempt to try to camp together for this, our 1 year...
Yes.
Birthday, our 1 year anniversary of Evercast. Let's see if we can kind of get that to go.
All right.
Ready?
You have to.
I think we should have chat participation too. They'll be on a delay.
I think everybody in chat.
Everyone, 5, 4. I want to see numbers spam.
Yeah, let's spam all the
Heck
numbers.
Yes.
Spam us out, guys. We're gonna camp out. Ready? I'm gonna hold up my hand so all of us please go together. Ready? Ready, chat? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
See you next week
time.
at SOE Live.
Thank you so much, guys. And we'll see you next time on Evercast.